bop yet. Okay, in the next portion, you're gonna hear a commentary for Miss 303. Now, originally, that commentary was part of another video on Mr. 303, but we felt that it should be made its own video, right? Because it's kind of lengthy and there's a lot of things in it. So we didn't want to confuse the Mr. 303 video with the Miss 303 video. We didn't want it to get lost, all right? So the next part was extracted from Mr. 303's video, and then we will release the 303 video. But we just wanted to separate this, okay? Here you go. One more thing for you, Miss 303. Okay, I want you to pretend that this is coming from someone that cares about you, alright? Listen to the message, because it speaks truth, alright? Because at the end of the day, you deserve way, way better than what he gave you. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt that you love this man to death, alright? But you gotta remember that love can make us do some stupid fucking shit, okay? But at the end, love should guarantee, at least at bare minimum, one's safety. You have to feel secure in the life that you're in. Despite all the obstacles given to you, as a unit, you should feel safe. Now you have to ask yourself, do you feel safe? Because everything that he has done contradicts safety, alright? He has put you and your family in way too much danger, from the police and so on. Ask yourself, how many chances does one get before something drastic happens? And you have to think about this, alright? Think about all the things that have transpired, and I want you to think in your mind how many things could have been prevented if he did something different, right? Just think about everything that happened in your life that went the wrong way, and at the end, look at the root cause of it. Because at the end, one must humble themselves for the family. One must protect the family. Above pride, above it all. If at the end, the act that's being done, right or wrong, the decision is to protect the family. Everything else goes to the side. So now ask yourself, did he protect you the way he should have protected you and your family? Did he? Because everything that's done so far, he put you all in grave danger. And I know you love this man. And he has a fucked up way of showing his love to you and yours. Because antagonizing cops, antagonizing them with weapons, think about that. Whether you're right or wrong to wield such a weapon, or to do audits, or whatever the case may be, at the end, he has family, he has all the kids that he has to think about. So why would he tempt a situation where, let's say he gets arrested? What would you do now? Let's say he went away, something happened, and he got arrested, and that's it, he's out of the picture. How does that help you? How does him standing up help you and your family? If he was alone, hey, he's in charge of his own life. He can think about what he wants to do with his own life. That's fine. But once you have responsibilities, there's decisions to be made. And at the end, pride is thrown out the window. It's done. It's done. You must humble yourself. So think again how many times you were put in a situation where if he did something different, you may not have to go through what you went through. Think. Because each time he does these things and goes out to antagonize people, he puts his life in danger. He puts you all in danger. Didn't you witness that when you were surrounded by the police? If you would have made the wrong move, or the kid would have ran out and did something stupid, or grabbed the gun, or whatever the case may be, a life could have been lost. And why? Why? At the end, at the core of it all, think about it. Sit down and think. If your child is in the casket, now think, why? Why? Are you going to say, listen, honey, it's okay, you stood up for your right to have a weapon. It's okay that you antagonized the police. It's okay that you insulted them. It's okay that you harassed them. I forgive you, and it's okay that I lost my child. Is that what you're going to say? Because once something is done, it cannot be undone. You can fight, you can fuss, you can leave his ass at the end, but that will not get back anything that has been damaged or lost. It's just not going to happen. It is done. So why tempt faith? Why? Why go online and antagonize other people, right? Inviting them basically to your home. You are locked and bolted in your own home. Psychologically, what is that doing to your children? He is going out purposely to cause trouble, to invite trouble. So if it was you and him, maybe, okay. You know, he should still protect you. But you have kids, and his actions of going online and antagonizing people that he feels are danger to society, and he has his own kids that he's putting and blasting out there. He is doing that. No one else is doing that. He sits there and talks about freedom of speech, right? But there's consequences behind freedom of speech. And, you know, a little secret that people have the right to speak on other people's speech. They have the freedom of speech as well, right? But all that is irrelevant. What could happen to your child when he's going on antagonizing pedophiles, people that are abducting kids to him? Think about that. You're antagonizing people that he believes is going to do these things, and he has kids of his own. Why would you invite that to your home? Let me ask you this, because you may not have noticed this, right? But let's look at this one clip right here.
My kids are out here. You should keep it up or just stop.
She doesn't pose. Might as well.
That's what's up.
She thinks it's okay to freaking just
Videotaping me.
Back
Look
and
at
forth.
that. Videotaping.
Yes, he's videotaping.
Don't touch my dog like that!
Ooh, got told. Period. Alright, come on, let's go find bikes.
There's always one.
I know.
Oh fuck. The meth is strong in this one. I need a meth meme. It's messed up. That's what's up.
I know it.
Okay, you saw that clip. You heard your child, right? You're saying that this person is on drugs or whatever the case, right? What's to say that one day that person gets so drugged up and gets so amped and upset that that person comes down and does something to your child, right? Hit him, stab him, whatever the case may be. What are you going to say? That person, yes, is going to go to jail, right? And depending on the lawyer, they may, plead in regards to, being under the influence, plead insanity, and also they will throw in that you were all bullying them, so it gives, some credibility that, they were acting under duress. So that person may, do some time, but what happens to your child? Can you get that back? Can you take back anything that happened to your child? You can't. So your child is there antagonizing what they consider to be a druggie or whatever, and that's fine to you. That's fine to you. That person you embarrass all over YouTube. You know what type of psychological thing that does to someone? Look at Bird. Look at how much he's doing and how far he's willing to go because he was embarrassed online. Now you take that to another person that you are embarrassing. How far will they go to come back and get you? You have kids. Bird is showing you what can happen. What do you think that can happen to you? You don't think that can happen to you. And your child was involved. Every video you put out, you're putting out your child. But right there, please just think about it. Remember, don't pay attention to the messenger. Listen to the message. In that moment, something serious could happen. Serious. And what are you going to say? You were there. You didn't stop it. That kid still does it. So you think that that child, later on as they grow up, and they feel comfortable saying shit out of their mouth, do you feel that someone is not going to retaliate? This is what you're grooming your children to be. But still, I don't want to lose focus on that one moment. That one moment could have been a pivotal point in losing your child, because you do not know how far that supposed drug user would do when you embarrass them and spread and plastered their name and face all over YouTube. Look at what Bird is doing for being embarrassed. Look at what your husband is doing for being embarrassed. What are you gaining out of this? Because I can tell you one thing, you going after these people, what do you gain out of it? Because there's so much you can lose out of it. And is it worth it? Is it worth the loss? See, he doesn't care because his brain is not there. He's all about his pride, and then he has another idiot whispering bullshit in his brain, and he can't think. But you look at your kids and picture something happening to them because of his actions. You need to protect your kids. He needs to protect the kids. So at the end, who do you love? Him or the kids more? Because obviously, to him, it doesn't make a difference. Let me go and harass the police. Let me go and harass pedophiles. Let me go out and harass anyone. I'm okay. They can't do nothing to me. I mean, really? Listen, you need to protect your kids. It's your children. Obviously, he doesn't care. So we're pleading to you. There's no takebacks when something is done. He is antagonizing another person. And let me say this, and I'm going to leave it off here. You have to think about this. How long does a person need to take abuse before they snap? Okay? And the key word is snap. Right or wrong. Listen, people, you have to forget about the right and wrong. When someone is in a mental state, right or wrong goes out the window. And once something is done, it cannot be undone. And that's what you are all missing. You could, after the fact, it's irrelevant. After the fact, if you lost something, if something was damaged, or if something was taken from you, it is done. So, how much abuse before someone snaps and something is done that's so drastic? And what are you going to say? Does he really need to go day in and day out after someone, antagonize them at the end for what? What was gained? Let me ask you this also, in regards to that person. How many other people live in your neighborhood within a 20-mile area that are in the same situation as that? Why pick this one individual? And let me just say this. This individual is filing police reports. This individual is calling the police. This individual is filing lawsuits. This individual is documenting everything. At the end, when someone snaps, that person, when they come out of their little state of insanity, to come and say, I pleaded with anyone, I pleaded with everyone to help me stop the abuse, and I could not take it any longer. And that person would have all the evidence piled up showing how he pleaded with the system to stop your husband's abuse, and your husband did not stop the abuse. So what if your husband puts himself in a situation where that other individual feels really threatened for their life, and they have documented proof of it, and something goes off? What do you say then? Because even if they go in after the other person and arrest them and put them away, does that bring what you have lost, or what was damaged, or what was mentally done to your family? You can never get that back. So at the end, how much abuse before someone snaps? Because you should know that what he is being chastised for is the same thing your husband did with you. No difference. You should know that. But at the end, regardless, what that person did, got charged, disgusting. It is disgusting, right? We all agree on that. But there's a lot of other disgusting people out there around where you live. But when you bombard one person and everyone groups against one person, insanity is not far behind. Remember that. Insanity is not far behind. So you harassing and bullying and following and calling and doing all these stupid shit against this one individual, it will break down, and they can say enough is enough and break down. Because they have no other choice. Because they're living their life in constant fear, right or wrong. You have to think about someone's mental state. And at the end, that's why we keep saying right or wrong. And we want all of you to listen to this. At the end, right or wrong, when something is done, it's done. So if you can avoid something being done to your family, why not avoid it? If you truly love and you want to protect your family, truly, why invite the problem? Why go and seek the problem? Why antagonize the problem? Why? Why put yourself even on public records saying, this is where I live, this is where I want, come to my home? Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. And listen, you have to think again. When someone snaps, they snap. We can't stress this enough. You cannot take it back. So when you bombard people like Rebel and everyone else, you have to accept that these people, when the attorney comes in, right? Not the individual is living the individual. But when they get a lawyer, the first thing they're going to be asking about is what happened. And when they document and they show all the times these people were mentally tortured, they will have a defense. Right or wrong, they will have a defense. And they more than likely will get away with it. And they may just be charged with manslaughter and put in a mental institution and still get out. But hopefully, you did not lose someone that cannot come back. But why tempt that? Why bring that to your home? He has a responsibility to you and the kids. Listen, it has nothing to do with us. Think, if you truly love your kids, you will not put yourself in situations where you can be arrested, taken out of their lives, or worse yet, get hurt, taken out of their lives. And why? Why would you do that with your kids? Why would you even want to show your kids that? So, at the end, remember, you are just as culpable. And if you truly love your man, and we know you do, there's no other way we can explain what you have endured, which you can do like 30 times better, okay? 30 times better. I'm surprised Bird haven't even hit on you yet, but at the end, listen, you need to sit down with him and have a heart-to-heart. You can support him day in and day out, but the actions that he is taking is putting you on death's door. Putting you or someone else at death's door. He is going around calling someone pedophiles, abductors. If he accuses the wrong person that's not going to have it, what do you think when you label someone that? What do you think you're inviting? When you go on this, go to the police and antagonize them and you're carrying a weapon, what do you think is going to happen when the cop needs to come to see him? They're going to come locked and loaded because they know he has a gun. They need to come that way. You witnessed it when you were surrounded. Look at how they came. They didn't come and knock and say, hey, what's up? They surrounded. That's what you said. Surrounded with weapons ready. Because that's what he invited. He did that. So at the end, love him and not. At the end, it has nothing to do with that fucking shit. The kids need to be safe. So you don't go and hunt for problems. You don't invite problems. You stay away from it. And if it comes to you, you protect your family, but you do not invite it. If he was single, hey, it's his life, but it's no longer his life. His life has been forfeited to secure the family and you. What are you going to do about that? Please, this is really coming from a sincere place. They may have filled your head with a lot of bullshit, but at the end, true supporters know that what we're doing is the right thing. We're trying to protect people from the bullies and the tyrants out there, and little do they know that indirectly we're actually saving them also, because they're going to go to someone and bully them, and they're not going to get the outcome that they thought they weren't going to get. So, if you keep bothering someone, if you keep harassing someone, if you keep bullying someone constantly, you have to expect that person will snap, and there will be records of it. There will be records. So, are you prepared to lose anything? It doesn't have to be life. It could be mentally, it could be physically, it could be materialistic. Are you prepared to lose for something that can be so simply avoided by just leaving a person alone and minding their business? He has how many kids to worry about for him to be out there worrying about someone else? Bird doesn't give a fuck because Bird don't have anyone. But you and your husband does. His life is in danger every time he goes out to antagonize someone. And what are you going to say when something happens to that man? You gonna blame the other person? You can't. You can't, because he went out there looking for it. So you have to look within yourself. Were you convincing enough to tell the one that you love to say, listen, you love us, I love you, it's not worth putting our family at risk. It's not worth it. Nothing is. So that's where we're going to leave you. Okay, so that was part of the video we were making for Mr. 303. So that was included in Mr. 303's video. So we extracted it because we felt that it should be by itself and addressed to Miss 303. We don't know if she's going to see it or not, but we're going to put it out there. Hopefully she'll get to see it. At least we can say we tried to communicate with her. As all of you should know by now, we love to remove plausible deniability because we know later on we'll be able to go back to it and say, we said it, we told you in your face. So even if someone doesn't watch it, to us, it was an attempt and it is what it is. And at the end, she can come back and say we're full of shit and I love my man and blah, blah, but the sane ones out there, the logical ones out there, know what we just said is true, right? Because despite it all, alright, despite everything, you should not be inviting problems that can harm your kids. And that's that. That's that. So if any action you take, you see can harm your kids, you should not be doing it. You just shouldn't. But every time, as time goes on, he has demonstrated to everyone that he does not care, or he doesn't seem to care about the safety for his children because of his actions, right? Because if these people were so dangerous, why would you go after people that are so dangerous, that could come and do harm to you? The only time someone does that is because they know that the other person is not dangerous. But this one small key that they're missing, that the abuse is accumulative. So every time they go out to harass someone, that to them is that one instance. But to the other person, it could be 50, 60 instances. And the anxiety, the fear will build and build and build until an explosion. And that's the part they're missing. But see, that's why you document, right? That's why you send the police, even if they're not doing anything. Because if something happens, you can always turn around and say, I tried to tell you to help. You said no. You said it's freedom of speech. You said it's this. You said it's that. I had enough, right? And the lawyer will take it from there. Trust, the lawyer will take it from there. So you won't be doing so much time. But it come to that. No one should be losing their freedom, and no one should definitely be losing their life. Over what? That's what we're telling Mr. 03. For what? You saw what the child was calling this grown lady? What if she was truly selling herself or something like that, and she had like a pimp? And now the pimp sees that on YouTube, right? Seeing that she was embarrassed, but she is supposed to be under his protection, so now he send a fucking message. You don't fuck with my bitches. So guess what could happen? You see how they don't think. I mean, and the kids are there, and they just went with it, and no one says anything. You're all like, yeah, that's right. Tell the kid, yeah, kid, go ahead, kid. Horrible. Your people are just so disgusting. You really are. You are just disgusting. So the other part for Mr. 303 will be coming out, but we wanted this to come out to, just address her, and that's that. Mr. 303, it's on you. It's on you. Remember, he did something to you that he is chastising another for. And that's why people saw that you just turned 16 when you were pregnant. So what is that saying? What is that saying about him? He married you 3 months after you were pregnant. 3 months after you just turned 16, right? So what is that saying? But he's going after other people. Why? So that's where the hypocrisy comes in. But anyway, fuck all that. children. That's it. Is his action healthy for the children? Maybe he should spend more time trying to do better in his life when all the kids don't have to sleep on one bed, right? This is what these kids are growing up to do. And you think they're psychologically not messing with them? These kids are growing up with each other, okay? And I want you to listen to this. They're growing up with each other. They play together. They're growing up together. And they're sleeping on top of each other. Hormones, shit start to come up. And yeah, shit can start happening. Shit can start happening. They are sleeping with each other in the same bed because you don't have no other place to put the kids on the floor. So listen, I don't know, but yeah. And he's after his boy. His boy is not even helping him, right? How is his boy helping y'all? He's getting him in a lot of trouble. But you see his boy got a place, lives by himself, loser. But you know, he has a place. What do you have? A truck you was sleeping in? A car? Hotel from hotel from hotel from hotel. And that fucking idiot, the construction worker, could fucking try to find you a house for cheap and house you in it? No, because he's a fucking bum. So, anyway, stay tuned for the next video. And let me, hold on, I got one clip I want to speak about. Okay, this clip right here, let's listen, because I have to listen to it too. I have to listen to it as well. Okay, here you go.
Continue to see the pattern of this behavior and this abuse of the First Amendment escalate to a point where it would become criminal, right? And how does that happen? Well, it happens by playing fuck games and winning fuck prizes, right? When doxing wasn't enough, when attacking people's families weren't enough, well, then it's, false CPS reports, false police reports, false fucking, business reports, false for this, false that. And they want to proceed to create these narratives to try to attack individuals that they don't like for the use of their freedom of speech. That's not America. Take your ass to North Korea, because you'll probably fit in a lot better there.
Okay. So, this is what we were talking about earlier in regards to freedom of speech. You all do this. This attacking us for exercising the same rights, right? We have the right. We have freedom of speech to talk about the shit that you talk about. If we don't like what you're saying, we have the right to say we don't like your shit and come back at it. It's not one way. It's not only for people that feel that they're the only voice. It's for everyone. Freedom of speech was truly put there to create an environment where someone can oppose without being arrested or charged or anything like that. That is why they put freedom of speech there. Because people were being punished for saying certain things. So the law came in and said, no, we can't do that. They can say whatever they want. So the law was made for those that want to speak in opposition. That is what the law is for. Not for someone to just regularly speak. That's not, the freedom of speech is not for them. Freedom of speech was implemented for those that want to oppose someone else. That is why that was implemented, to protect those that are going to speak against something. So we are speaking against something. That law was meant for us to speak on all of you, to oppose all of you. That is why it was implemented. Not for all of you to just speak and all that. It's to protect us from speaking. So, but now you can come back and speak about us, right? You have the freedom to do that. And now the First Amendment comes in. The First Amendment, again, comes in for those that oppose popular speech. That is where First Amendment comes in. That is our protection. So, again, he's talking shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just a bum loser. We have another video. It's titled, This is Bird. Funny. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny. So, there you go, people. That's it. Really about this out. This video is fun. Okay, that's it. Take care.